is that part, man.
Yeah.
So I want to start it like this.
Good stuff, man.
I am a guy from a place, CharmCityBipper, Quis The Vndl. Marquis is the name my mama gave me. I want to make sure I'm recording because that would be awful. Let me be sure. Because I got some audio. I got some visuals.
That's on? Sweet.
I'm standing up to sit back down. That's a little blooper for y'all. So, a guy from a place. I'm here with West. You are a fitness trainer, and I'm sure a lot of other things I haven't fully begun to acknowledge.
Fitness trainer, personal development coach.
Beautiful.
I also coach athletes as well, but just in the health and wellness is my profession.
Awesome, awesome. So, wanna start by where are you from? Would you mind sharing?
Yeah, so I'm actually from Maryland. Born and raised in Silver Spring, so right over by Montgomery County, and kind of just been here majority of my life. Traveled, lived in different cities, different states. So I went to school, playing football, went traveling to different states, North Carolina, stayed out in California, but family's here in Maryland, so this is definitely home.
Right. I always say that home is where the heart is type of energy. Where the family is, that's always a home. I'm grateful for the way that you approached me. I want to be transparent about it. Just humility in a social media space. A lot of people aren't cognizant of that. It could easily be this thing of like, hey man, you didn't hit me back. Cause like all of these things.
Yeah, all that.
And I'm grateful when people give me the understanding that I like to give out. So it was like our text message flow and email chain was whatever, but we've made it to this point, and I'm grateful for it. I've seen your page. I saw a post last night that I reposted that I really connected with. What are some hurdles that people run into getting into fitness?
So they have this like idea set already from wherever, but in terms of whether it's fitness related, there's just like this expectation that they're trying to meet, right? Same with food too, nutrition wise, right? But that's never the case, right? And so kind of my approach is to meet them where they're at and just give them the information that they could use and start applying that works for their lifestyle, because everyone's different. Everyone has this idea of health that I believe is a lot different, right? What may be healthy for you might be healthy for me. It's a lot different. How we grew up, talking about environments, all that stuff. So I think the approach when it comes to that, we just don't know. We're so, let's say, like intimidated in terms of what health and fitness really means, right? Like there's just one definition of it, whereas I believe there's, everyone believes differently, and from there is just kind of meeting them and then building from there.
I've always looked at it as a holistic thing. Like I'll say always, only because I kept trying different things as an individual outlet. So I'm like, if I get the mental health right, I'm there.
Yeah.
If I get the eating right, it's like this focus is drawn to that space. And as I come into this space as a yogi and all of these different experiences I've had, and I'm bringing them all into like, oh, none of this was different. None of this was separate. So I laugh at people's like fear of recognizing the power relationship. Personal training is relationship. So your relationship with that person is what's drawing you to invest your knowledge in. They have to be open, right? They have to be open to receive what you're giving. Sometimes people want to give money and get this thing back right away. It's like, okay, you gave me this $250, but look at what your $250 is over the course of 30 days. Not like this is, oh, you got a week. Because there are $250 a week programs. $250 a day, $250 an hour programs, right? But to get these get this access to knowledge, right? You are knowledge based. All of your experience has given you like, oh, your hip is a little off. You check your hamstring. You check your quads. What's your quad strength like? Do you do any pelvic movements? Like these questions. Low back, right? All of these. It's such a beautiful thing to have that on the go. But it takes work to get to it. So when I see people who put that work in to get it, I'm like, man. Power to you.
Hey, appreciate it, brother.
Yes. Man, so I'm in a lot of spaces. But to fully step into this one, is there anything you want to share that's like specific to your experience that you think has like powered you to do the things that you do?
Taking care of myself, right? And then something I always kind of share and preach is how important that we must take care of ourselves before we take care of anybody else. No matter what profession it is. I'm not just talking health and fitness related. If you're a doctor, whatever, teacher, you got to be your best self before you do anything. So that's like the thing, and not just physical health, right? Mental health, your emotions, your spirit.
Yes.
So in the holistic way, in terms of it's all connected, right? So I really believe like focus on that, focus on self, right? And sometimes it may seem like a selfish thing, but it's never the case, right? And that expectation, that word selfish, seems bad for some people. I've learned to embrace that. Right, embrace that time for yourself. Embrace, not wanting to do things for certain people, or it's okay to say no.
It's boundaries.
Yeah,
your boundaries are protecting all that you work for, because this is the kingdom. So,
amen.
So with that part is like, this is the temple. When I let just anybody into the temple, I'm disrespecting what has been earned. That's the spiritual process of
Absolutely.
it. I was like, I spoke to you. I've gone through a lot of different moments, is what I call them. I attempt not to assign descriptive things to moments, because every moment,
I like that.
If I keep it at a base level, I'm grateful for a moment. I'm grateful for a moment because I learned from every moment, no matter what the moment was. So I was sitting with like, okay, funeral home, cemetery, date with a person that I really care for. Yoga, like businesses falling apart, business relationships dying. Okay, so a lot is leaving my space. What is this telling me? What is coming into my space as things are exiting? Am I receiving everything that's coming into my space? Am I following up with Wes to make sure this happens?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
These things have been so prevalent in my mind, and as I sit in this space, I'm grateful for this day for many reasons. There's a lot that's going to happen on this day. My students that I met in 2020 on a Zoom class are graduating today.
Wow.
Class of 2023.
It's on the Zoom, starting the Zoom.
Yes.
Wow.
I've invited the Park Heights Struck King to the school because of some random moment, but I'm looking forward to him being here, doing the strut with the kids that are still present. I'm hoping to do a poem for him. I'm hoping to give my students my book, different things like that, right? Just the alignment of all of these things. And it wasn't clear. Even this morning, I didn't know that's what it was going to be. It came to me this morning like, this is what it could be. I thought about that gift. Someone asked me, like, you got anything for that bag? I was like, do I? Give them the book, a sticker. And so it's these things where I'm also stepping into the reality that abundance is a choice. And abundance does not look like a lot of things in the world, because a lot of the world only recognizes lack. And they're intentional about only like spreading lack. They want lack to be present so that they can have more abundance. The reality of abundance is that there's no limit to abundance. So sharing abundance is just more coming to you. Like, so if you're truly giving, right, to give with an open hand, rather than giving, hey, give me that back, or I'm going to need that one day. Because your inner world is what I've been reading a lot about lately, and it's that thing of take care of yourself. Where are you within? Because where you are within says where you are without. And that, like, oh, I have no food. Well, inside I'm good. I ate yesterday. And it's only a day. Like, Jesus went 40. Like, so it's these moments, man. But as I said, I'm grateful, and I constantly think about why. I've said that a lot. Why is a question I ask. I'm a question asker. I've always known questions to be the start of the work, right? Like, why can't I do one push-up? That was really my thing. I was like, okay, I'm tired of this 5 guys sweeping this floor. Why can't I do a set of 20 push-ups? Oh, because I'm not doing them. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Photographer. She's really dope. She just graduated from Morgan.
Hey.
So, merging worlds, right? Your page is dope.
Yeah.
How was it getting into training? Like, what was the process? I know there's college. Was it clear cut? Was it like I'm going to be a trainer from the get go, or is like?
Hey, not at all. What started as trying to pursue a profession in football, not finishing school, it was more so falling back on my passion, right? So what did I enjoy? What can I do every single day that doesn't feel like work? And for me, it was the fitness aspect. I love just working out in a sense, where how it made me feel, not physically but mentally, right? And then how it did for me, the byproduct of course, the body and being healthy, but the mental health aspect, how I was able to manage just life challenges every day, how it made me feel when I wake up, get my workout in, and then kind of just whatever life has for me the rest of the day, how I'm able to take care of that. So it grew into fitness where it was just the physical part, but then as I'm taking care of myself more, I realized it's bigger than that. That's just one pillar of just life. Absolutely. The fitness aspect, but the mind, body, and soul is really connected. So I can't neglect the other two if I'm just taking care of the physical, right? So what started as physical from football, being a habit, but then growing into being open-minded and choosing to grow by taking care of myself and prioritizing the mental health, right? So overall health, it grew to me prioritizing that in general, which was still to this day now, being able to help share that with other people, clients, just anyone who's willing to learn. And it's just like, as a trainer, it's probably a different approach than some trainers, but I like to add all aspects when it comes to health in that physical training.
I'm here for it. I'm grateful for that part because I speak so much to students, anyone who I come across that's like, what do I do? Is like, okay, what do you have? Because what you don't have is going to have you seeking rather than sticking with like, okay, you talk a lot. Is talking a lot bad everywhere?
Yeah.
No, because I do a podcast.
Right.
I have to talk a lot. If I was, I don't feel like talking right now. So how you doing, bro?
Yeah.
That don't work, right? And then it's this part where it's like finding that balance between, am I the one that they're watching this for, right? So is this conscious effort, but it's recognizing too, I can still create a space where it is. So it's these things, and taking your vision and keeping it open, right? You've shown up in a space. You saw other people in the space probably being trainers.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot of us that in there, like, I didn't get the big one. The big one was all I wanted though. It's like, really, bro? Like, what do you have still? You have years of training experience. You have years of moments with coaches that nobody has.
Right.
Like, I don't have moments with coaches in the locker room on the last day of the season, like last game of the season. You got to make it. Like, you got to get out there and give it all. Your mama in the crowd, your cousins and pulled up from Virginia. Like, I don't have that.
Right.
But guys that do, sometimes are being told, like, bro, you're not enough to be that. So you can't be anything. It's like, bro, you could be so many things if that was what you aspired to.
Absolutely.
Because once you take that same energy, that mentality, like, what's a law degree? What does it take to be an accountant? Just punch these numbers, bro. Show up. Take that same pressure that you were under. Be like, bro, I'm gonna hit this with that same emotion, but it's recognizing that part mentally. They're not different. Is this wall I put up where I said they were different. I said there's no other reality. And it's like, no, bro, like, punching numbers in calculus, this like uncomfortability shows up in other spaces. I had that same feeling doing other things. So like, how do I get past that feeling? Once I get past that feeling, I may be a little more like, okay, so I don't get this. Because I don't get this gives me an answer. Hey man, like my tricep been feeling, my shoulder been feeling kind of off. What do you think I should look at? Oh, how you're what's it like up here? Like, you got 1,000 dots. Yeah. You probably got some exercises. You got some movements that a person could get into. So I laugh as well because a lot of people say social media is fake because it's moving too fast. And things that move fast, we think we know them quickly. It's like, no, you like, okay, you see somebody doing this training video for 30 seconds so you can go home and do it. And you're like, oh, that don't work.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have abs by now.
Facts.
You missing like 70 components.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that for anybody that's doubting healers, that's doubting photographers and artists, the way we create, like even this, I do it in a way where people are like, oh, it's so natural. It's like, if you knew every hurdle, like I can't, I was joking with you, like, I gotta write a book. Right. I'm gonna write a book about it. But it's funny to sit with like, speaker, I get that because I'm doing stuff in the school, but it plays multiple purposes in my life. I can pull up to the park and do a yoga class with my speaker. Microphone, I'm thinking this is one use just for this. I actually got these thinking about doing on-the-go podcast with the kids. So I was going to put up in schools. Dope, and that's still alive. It's actually recorded one. So it's like all of these things, I was like, yo, how do I keep all of it flowing? And sometimes I start things and I don't get to bring them to what I want them to be right away. But you know how that goes. Like you started the football, you were doing football, you get into training. I'm sure training doesn't look like what it's supposed to right away. You got to explain that at the family meetings, like the family gatherings, Thanksgiving. What you doing? You just training, boy. Can I get a free class?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Planting these seeds though. Definitely planting the seeds.
Plant these seeds. I wanna say hi to Gia real quick. Gia, do you want to jump in the camera and say hi to the world? How you doing today?
Hello.
I'm with Wes. Okay. I think I might have an extra shirt in the trunk.
I might have to take that.
Okay. Just t-shirt game. Tell easy.
Always.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah.
Big bag. Hey. Don't play with it. You heard it here first. Don't play with it. No, it ain't cocky. It was funny. I saw this clip where Wallow was like, a lot of people will say, humble yourself. And they put it back in perspective because City said, I'm grounded, not humble. Like you're grounded. You work to get the Telfeezy. Like it's not like somebody just, hey baby, this your Telfeezy. Go outside and stun on them. You that camera, that ain't light.
Right.
That's big business and it's intentional business. So it's like standing on the work you put in an authentic way. But like I said, because social media moves so fast and a lot of our references in real life have been somebody who's cocky. A lot of times the person who's cocky is going to try to stand over people they think they're above. So if we allow them to feel like they're above us, they'll stay around us. It's like that joke where people are like, yeah, man, I was so mature for a 14-year-old. I was hanging out with 23-year-olds. So like, nah, they didn't have no motion. Like a 23-year-old with moves ain't got no business with a 14-year-old. Like, it's real. Unless they're mentoring, unless they're working in a school, but like, you just had to party with 23-year-olds. Like they put you on the drugs and alcohol. Young, like that wasn't a flex. That's bad for them. You probably get some charges against you say something wrong.
Yeah.
So it's this interesting thing of recognizing when you are, why you are, where you are. Sometimes people will try to take us out of our bag, right? And that's back to what I was saying with mental health and spirituality. It's like people don't intentionally do it. They have their understanding of life. And when we're not so conscious of who we are within, their understanding of life will feel like it's pressing upon our ideals. But it can only do what we allow it to. So that's where the boundaries come in. If someone come in and say, oh, this podcast don't make sense, man. Why don't you go back to school? Go back to school? I teach classes. I'm a yoga instructor. What do I go back to school for? Like that's a full-time job, and I'm certified. Like not like I do yoga because this is namaste. Like I'm a certified yoga instructor. I've taught in the school for 3 years. I have a communications network at this point. I'm a social media manager of my own, and now of a lot of. My point is this: when you do it, you are it. You have to be it. You can train to be it, right? But if you don't show up as it, the personal trainer who's still doing law contracts.
Yep.
Like, if you are it, there is no denying it.
I like that.
I am a guy from a place. There's no denying that. If somebody, hey, I'm a guy from a place. No, you're not a guy from this. So it's this thing of like, okay, I was a part-time artist. I was a part-time creative. And what I was truly being was my mama's son and a teacher and trying to follow the path of the family. Yeah. And then I was confused as to why the things I truly wanted weren't working. When they say don't have a plan B, they're saying don't be anything other than what you are. So you can still be the things you are in spaces you didn't think you could be. In that building, I was a yoga instructor. I had a media club. I taught a yoga class to second and third grade. I was a tech teacher. I was a math class assistant. I read to second graders on random moments, mentored kids. There was nothing I didn't do because they allowed me to be who I was. That's why I'm here. This is a product of people being who they are. This is a product of someone being who they are. So I'm grateful and appreciative to see it reflected in the world. And the power of that as well is choosing to see it. Because I could easily choose to see other things.
Definitely.
So major gratitude, man.
Definitely. Wow.
Is there anything you want the people to know about that is coming up?
So I'm constantly getting involved, and usually around the summertime, there's always things going on in regards to different events.
Yes.
I mean, as far as what's coming up, not that I can think of right now in my head.
I feel it.
But I know there's always something going on, like doing a couple. I literally just left a high school before I came here to speak to some students. So I know I have another event talking to a group of kids. So I mean, just it's always something going on, right? Figuring it out.
That's why I call myself the Bipper, because it's like my weeks are coming to me as I'm moving. Like, hey, does this week work for you? Like, what's the week look like? And then the powerful part too of being an entrepreneur is things get canceled, and there's no hard feelings because it's like, oh, why would he cancel? Like, I'm not attached to that. I'll go find another thing to work on in that space. So this is a life that people around you won't always understand, but the powerful part is the people who do are truly understanding you. Because it takes a lot to understand this. Like, it takes a lot to understand. How you going to New York? I got a homie that's gonna let me hold the couch for the weekend. Like, it is what it is. I got a cousin that's on the Jersey side. I'm right over. I'm gonna make it work. But it's like the spiritual foundation is understanding that he's making it work. They are making it work. The universal mind, whatever you decide to call it, right, is making it work. And to deny it or be fearful of what it's telling you is where these issues come. But that's all from turmoil within.
I think definitely, like, when speaking of health, I think this season for me has been a lot of spiritual muscles that I've been working on, right? And trusting, just being in alignment, right? It's just because figuring it out as you go, but just trusting your intentions and knowing this as you just keep going, it's just gonna happen. So I think that's been big, and just, being, no expectation, just not taking things personal, but just being. I think just being on this earth and being here with you, I mean, this is, I appreciate it. This is love, man. So just nothing but gratitude.
What's special is the trusting self. Trusting self is so meaningful for me right now because it was so many people that I leaned on to have a reference for myself. And I was like, why is it external? It doesn't have to be, because what they're seeing is also what I'm giving them. So why am I giving certain people that much? I've said that as well. Sometimes we don't have problems in our life. We're just giving people more than they can hold. So if I tell somebody I got like 70 things to do this week, oh man, you need to take a break. No, my 70 is like 10 Monday, 10 Tuesday, 20 Wednesday, because Wednesday kind of a break, rest Thursday. Like, that's manageable for me. So it's like sometimes in spaces where we're lower, people want to enable us to step back. It's like, oh, just take a break from training for a little bit. Wes, what you going hard, baby? You don't got to do it all. Why you going to 7 schools today, Wes? Why you going to any schools today, bro? Let's go. Nah, bro. It's summertime. I know what time it is. It's summer. It's always summer in some places of the world. Catch a flight. Catch a flight and get you some summer. I'm trying to be somewhere warm in December. That feel good to me. So it's like understanding that you are your only limit, and you have to be your biggest supporter. But don't be a limit. You don't have to be a limit. And sometimes in life, we've accepted too many people's understanding of life to be our supporter, because there's limits imposed, and they're not supporting you in the ways So it's like now you're reflecting, oh, my dad said I couldn't. Guess that's the end of it. Said I'm better as a lawyer. Said I'm better. And this is not what dad said. Dad is solid. For real. It's just these ideas, y'all. Like, it all starts here. And what are you putting in here? Shout out to Conscious Consumption, Chef Key. She has a different name. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Apothecary was her IG name, but on a podcast prior, she said, what are you consciously consuming? And sometimes we consciously consume so much that it becomes an unconscious consumption. And so it was like, oh, I gotta go on Shade Room this morning. Gotta go? A gotta go is the start of your detriment.
Right.
And not to say specifically that media outlet, but when we get into these habits of like, oh, I gotta get these donuts after work. I mean, I like the oatmeal raisin cookies, and I love some vegan donuts, and I do spaz out from time to time. But it's also understanding of like, have I eaten fruit this week? I had some watermelon this morning. I love the watermelon. You know, I had some sea moss. I had the tea from Hugh Cafe with mullein, echinacea, a couple other things. So it was like, I've been doing different things, but always remembering to find that balance and remember, like, okay, I ain't do this in a while. Let's go meditate. Let's go sit. Let's go sit intentionally. Let's cut off the rest of like this night. Like, cut it off at 8. Maybe you got the gram doing what it's doing, but put that on autopilot. And also separating work and play. Definitely. And like having these real designations. Like some people are like, oh, you had everything. I'm like, this is work. Sometimes I want to be a face in the room. I want you to see this logo. Oh, that guy, the tall guy with that's the symbol in his head. Yeah. That was work for me. And it's like, I don't have to be at everything now because I was done what it was supposed to. Yeah. So this is blessings, man.
Yeah. No, I like how you put the consumption not just being tied to food, but just everything, right? And you can eat all the right foods, you can do the workouts, but then if you're consuming other things that aren't aligned with who you want to be, then are you really being conscious of what you're consuming? So I think you definitely hit it with that for sure, because just always being open-minded for growth, right? And always just taking note and self-inventory on just like, how can we continue to grow, right? The work is never done, and every day, you know, we're doing the work. We're doing the work, and always being open to learning through experience and through these moments. I think is just how we choose to consume it. It can either help us make us better or make us worse. So having that choice to see it as growth and seeing everything as growth, it definitely is important. So
it's such a blessing, man. It's such a blessing, and you're always a reference. Yeah, you're always a role model. We're always modeling something, even if it's people we're not connected to. See that guy walking through the mall with the beard. That beard was cool, man. I need a beard. It's like these things that give other people more freedom to be their truer self. There are things that limit us, right? There are things that limit others that we have to be conscious of. Right. But there are foundational things like truth, honor, respect, discipline, patience, trust, acceptance, non-judgment. Used to do the what do they call it? The Pledge of Allegiance. You know, we had to say these different values at the end of it, and I was just saying, like, it became so redundant, I forgot what they meant. Like compassion. What's compassion? C-O-M passion? But it's compassion to be like, okay, I can give a little bit of this love that I have for myself to others. It's like I can go as hard for others as I go for myself somewhat. But also remembering not to pour from an empty cup.
Definitely.
So these different things that we continue to come back to. We're all artisans. Right? We have tool belts. And some of us don't have all the tools in our belt. Sometimes we're showing up to hit nails in with the back of a screwdriver, like with the screwdriver handle. It's like, hey, brother, this is actually the tool you need. Maybe we need a little more patience rather than anger. Saying that to yourself and finding ways to say it to others, right? It's that constant journey. But
no, that's facts. I think in this life, you know, we don't know it all, right? And we're not supposed to get it figured out, because I honestly believe if we have it all figured out, then what's the point, right? What's the point? So if you got to work with what you got, that's part of the figuring out. That's part of the journey. And so, you know, just being here with you, learning from you, I think we're all here to just teach, right?
Yes.
Just share what's worked for us and our experiences, and through alignment, through connection, you know, you kind of just vibe. You know, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So it's just like
that's $1 million right there.
So just knowing, but through alignment, this is what brought us together, right?
Yes,
and here we are, just sharing wisdom and learning from each other, and just gonna keep figuring out moving forward from here, right? So it's beauty in everything, and I see it.
Yes. It's abundant. It's bountiful. It's so much space for prosperity and success.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get out of here because gotta get in that building. I got Gia waiting over here. You know, I can't do that to people. You know, as I always say, one day made better is many days made greater. I'm uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that is unfair. The joy I've been given is best when shared. And visionaries never die. Legends survive. Through the seeds we sow daily, we get better with time. I am a guy from a place, CharmCityBipper. Marquis is the name my mama gave me. Thank you, West.
My brother.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you.
Likewise. And follow his page. I have a special promotion going around now. I'm calling it the Bipper sent me.
Okay.
If you have anything that you want to give others when they tell you the Bipper sent me, if they are wise enough to do it, that's an opportunity. I'm not saying there's a discount, but follow people, and this is the power of business. When discounts do come around, that knowledge is there. It may be a special emailing list. It may be a contact list. It could be something, but just be conscious of that. The Bipper sent me.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I mean, when it comes to that, always being a service when it comes to health and wellness, and you know, through Bipper, I mean, any help that I can do, whether it's through physical health, mental health, spiritual health, I'm someone that can help. So.
Yeah. And I will say I'm leaning back into my yoga classes. So
hey, we gotta get some. Yep.
Right. So I made my stride with this podcast in the ways that I feel are necessary. I'm looking at slowing down in the interviews. So I want to do some events, and I would love to collab.
Definitely.
So
we will.
The Bipper sent me. That is how you could get to one of my classes, possibly. Who knows? Just be out here. Be outside. Blessings in abundance. Peace. Yeah. We were searching for the right way, did a lot of wrong. Can't go back, gotta move on. Gotta move forward, corrections given and accept the living. Still brings pain, even when you're moving with the best intentions. And you blessed with visions of joy, bliss, peace. Gratitude for every day I live to speak, and I live to breathe in growth and abundance.